Hello, everyone. Welcome to GNU, according to CD. GNU being the government of national unity. Is it a blessing? Is it a curse? Or we are still in early days? What's happening? I still think that the jury is still out, but without further ado, let's talk about this thought that you guys have been asking me about when it comes to Kamala Harris. This is the Vice President of the United States of America, who is the Vice President to Joe Biden, who is the current President of the United States. So, as we know that the United States is going to its elections in November, and so we saw Mr. Biden starting with his second term campaign, and at some point he had to drop out, and he handed over the baton to his vice president Kamala Harris, who won the convention about a week ago, and now she is officially running for the presidency of the United States of America. Uh, well, this will be the first for her if she ever wins the elections. Of course, she makes the first female deputy president or vice president of the United States, the first black deputy or vice president of the United States, and possibly could be the second black person to win the American elections and the first black female president of the United States and first black female and first female to win the elections of the United States of America. That is, if she does win. So I am following the the campaign trails of Donald Trump as well as Kamala Harris, and I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. How these campaigns are going this time. Of course, I do condemn the attempted assassination of Donald Trump a few weeks ago. There is no way that violence should play itself in a democracy, in a free world like the United States. If people have differences of opinion, cool, have your differences of opinion. But I don't think that politics should ever involve emotions. I think politics should always involve intellectual, uh, what do you call this, viewpoint, but most importantly, emotional intelligence should always take precedent so that you get to understand what each candidate may have for you. Because you may be pushing back at something that was going to help you at the end of the day. Okay, I get it. I get it. Donald Trump was the president of the United States around 2016 to 2020. And we did see how he was running the United States and the divisions that was stirred by his government dividing people, particularly black and whites. Apparently, racism became a very huge thing that was quite endorsed by the supporters of Donald Trump. We also did see what happened in January of 2020 at the Capitol Hill. It was just unbelievable. It's still unbelievable for me that in 2024, a whole young person could climb on top of a building with a rifle and try to assassinate a presidential candidate simply because they don't agree with their policies or agree with the person themselves. It's always good to have battle of ideas, debate things, and teach your constituencies about the importance of democracy so that you won't find a situation where a young man who now has lost his life because I don't know. I mean, I don't think we'll ever know why he did what he did. I hope he did write it down somewhere so we can understand his motives as to why he wanted the presidential candidate in Donald Trump gone permanently from the political scenes of the United States. Now, of course, the days are still quite early, but you can tell what's going on.
Donald Trump got punked. He was born, he has conducted foreign policy since day one, born out of a very fragile ego. that fails to understand that one of the most important responsibilities of the commander-in-chief is to concern herself with the security of our nation and homeland.
Because even the liberals that will not that call or at least look at themselves as liberals, they are having an issue with Kamala Harris. I don't know, maybe because she's a woman, or maybe she's a woman and black, or because she's black. I don't know what seems to be the issue. That you're finding liberals that are rejecting her. I would have thought that they will embrace her with everything that they've got. And then, of course, you have a black community who are also divided. You have black communities that still remember how Kamala Harris, when she was, what do you call this, Attorney General, in California, where she was incarcerating apparently black people more than she was incarcerating any other race in California. So all of those stories are coming to haunt her now that she is a presidential candidate. Guys, all of these things that I'm saying are allegations. I'm not saying they are facts, but I'm just listening. I'm not an American citizen. I'm just watching from outside in, and I am following these conversations. I'm following these debates, and they are quite interesting if you ask me. But at the end of the day, somebody needs to take the White House and serve the people of the United States of America after the elections in November. So, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Donald Trump coming back again, or is it going to be Kamala Harris? So, I'm looking at Kamala Harris's campaign trail. I don't think she is making an impact thus far. The energy, I don't know, maybe her team need to boost it a little bit with some energy and punch the air and do all the stuff that needs to be done. You know, like how what's his name, Barack Obama, yes you can type of situation, and hype up the people of America. And those that are doubting and sitting between the fence, let them make a final decision whether they are going to vote for Donald Trump or they're going to vote for Kamala Harris. It needs to be clear. Donald Trump is going all in, but he's going all in with what we already heard in his previous campaign. And I don't know, guys. To be honest, I don't have an issue with Donald Trump. I don't have an issue with Kamala Harris. I'm indifferent. I'm not an American citizen. I don't have to support any of them. But I understand that whoever takes the White House, it will affect me one way or the other. Because as we already know, I don't know if it's still the same how it used to be back then. If the United States sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. If the United States has a cold, the rest of the world gets pneumonia. I don't know if it's still like that, but we have some people, academics or intelligent people, will say, no, it's no longer like that. The United States is no longer a superpower, blah, 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 blah. I don't know all those things. I'm just stating my own thoughts here. And please don't come for me and say, you need to do your research. No, these are my thoughts. These are my observations, and you cannot take away my opinion because I am entitled to my opinion when it comes to these matters. However, though, I'm also observing and I'm making my own opinions about what I am watching or listening to. I feel like Kamala Harris needs some bit of energy to get the United States at least the majority, maybe even the election college, because we know what happened in 2016 with Hillary Clinton, who got the majority votes, but when it came to the electoral college, things went south for her. So I'm hoping we're not going to see anything like that this time around, that there will be a clear winner, or at least battle it out in a way that is going to inspire everybody to come out and vote. Of course, if you're an American citizen and you're watching this and you are young and you are eligible to vote, register to vote and go out and vote for your preferred candidate. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. That is totally up to you and your conscience and your future, because it definitely is about your future whatever you or whoever you choose, that is going to affect you for the rest of your life. All right. So I also think that when it comes to black people who do not feel comfortable with the candidacy of Donald Trump, it's not going to help you to just speak on social media, but you do not go and vote. Because if you don't go vote, you are as good as a person that sent other people to go bring you the government that they'll bring you. And then don't complain when they bring back Donald Trump, the one you all of you are saying, no, 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 he cannot be president of the United States. Hey, hey, things are going to go bad if he's going to be the president for black people, blah, 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 and on and on. But then again, South Africa is still open for business. For those of you who may want to relocate to South Africa, if Donald Trump does win the elections, and you are afraid for your lives for the next 5 years, here in South Africa, the standard of life is pretty quality. Things are cheap for y'all with the dollar, and you enjoy it here. You'll be part and parcel of the majority, and you can watch from a distance what's happening in the United States. But my predictions, if you had to ask me who is going to win the elections, hands down, I think we may have a situation that we had, or the United States had in 2016, where Kamala Harris is going to get the majority votes. But when it comes to the electoral college, things are going to go south for her. I don't know how legit can you make that president to be president after that, but anyways, he became president from 2016 to 2020 because of the, is it electoral college? Is that how they call it? Whatever college that is. So I think history may repeat itself unless the Democrats they do cover that and ensure that Kamala Harris does become the president of the United States, and that will be history made once again in the United States, not once but twice. A first female president of the United States, and then first black female president in the United States. That is absolutely interesting to look forward to how everything goes for the United States. But one thing I must make mention from where I am standing and looking in, the United States democracy is, I think, is depleting. It's fast turning into an autocracy and may end up an autocracy at some stage if people of the United States are not careful about the status in the world as a free world. There's a lot going on there, and it's making African countries look like a walk in a park with the stuff that is going on there, especially when it comes to race relations, when it comes to economic equality, as well as social standings in the United States. I don't know. I wouldn't think that the United States will be where it is in 2024. I think they would have advanced far further and above all other countries in the world because it's the United States, right? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the next 4 years, what it holds, not only for the United States, but for the rest of the world. I'm also interested to hear what the relationship will be between the new American president after the elections in November and the government of national unity here in South Africa. From what I understand currently, the current administration, American administration, is trying to mend some walls between South Africa and the United States. South Africa, for some time now, has been gravitating towards the east, towards working with China, Russia, and of course, they're in a partnership with BRICS nations, and more other nations are joining BRICS. And that is definitely threatening the US dollar, threatening US position in the world, and things like that. Like I said earlier, South Africa is a strategy that you cannot lose, whether you're America or whether you are China or Russia or some Middle Eastern country. We play a major role. We are the brake that is holding everything in the world, I believe, as South Africa. And I think the national government, the government of national unity, needs to understand that and take advantage of it for the betterment of the people of South Africa. So, other than that, guys, those are my thoughts when it comes to Kamala Harris. I hope that we are sensibility is going to prevail in the United States, whether that sensibility is in Trump or is in Harris, I don't know. Only the people of America that can have their say. The people shall say what they want to say when they go to the polls. When is it? The 20th of November or the 2nd of November? I don't know what the date of the elections are. I know it's somewhere in November. Other than that, that is that in my head. I thought I was going to talk about the new government in Britain, but I don't have the time to include that. Maybe in another video. Let me know if you are interested in hearing my thoughts about that, because I do have some thoughts about that, especially after Brexit. Yeah, things have been interesting since then. Other than that, guys, please do not leave this video without liking, sharing, subscribing. And if you do subscribe, make sure to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And do leave a comment. Goodbye.
You know, Donald Trump once asked Black Americans, I'm going to quote, excuse the language, "What the hell do you have to lose from a Trump presidency?" And sadly, we all know too well, when he was president, Donald Trump tried over and over to get rid of the Affordable Care Act and to take health care then from millions of Black Americans. Year after year, he proposed cuts to Social Security and Medicare so that so many of our seniors would be deprived on what they rely on to live with dignity. And then he handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court, the Court of Thurgood, with the intention that they would overturn Roe v. Wade, and as he intended, they did. And today, 1 in 3 women and more than half of Black women of reproductive age live in a state with an abortion ban, a Trump abortion ban. And if he wins a second term, I promise you he's going to go even further.